Oké, úgy néz ki, hogy megszakadt valamiért a közvetítés. De sok minden nem maradt ki. A Weasley professzor itt most akar megtanítani minket, hogy hogyan tudjuk használni a hoppáldozatokat. Tehát ki tudunk? Nem tudunk nyugodtan. Akkor mindenképpen elmentünk oda. Egyébként nem voltunk messze a szobortól. Kiderült a szoborról, hogy a Loch Nessi szörny is egy olyan állat, mint amilyet ábrázolt. Nem tudom, az benne volt az előző részben.
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall. You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive, our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard, and a talented teacher.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become auras. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Hecat in charge of our students' education in that regard.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
Azt mondta, hogy nem mondjuk el senkinek, úgyhogy...
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
I did my best, but I'm fairly certain she suspects that we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look. The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Érdekes.
Her wand work is exquisite. Transfiguration has always come easily to me. I suppose some minds are more
Ez a
skilled
zene.
than others. I tried to transfigure my parchment into a blanket. Once until that. Would have been fine if it hadn't caught fire. Human transfiguration is dangerous. Charlotte Morrison had to go to the hospital wing last year. Got stuck with fox ears. Improvement, I thought.
There's something in there. I just know it.
Hello. I don't believe we've met.
Oh, hello. I'm Lenora. Pardon me if I seem a little distracted at the moment. Everyone thinks I'm utterly balmy. Samantha thinks I'm potty. But it's this painting. I never noticed it before. If I know Hogwarts, and I do, an empty frame doesn't appear for no reason. There's something more to this.
Have you gained any insights about the painting since you've been studying it?
I did discover that casting Lumos has an effect of some kind. But I'm not sure what to do next.
Are there any other empty paintings like this around the school?
Yes, a few. This entire place is somewhat of a riddle, to be honest. If I can work out the riddle of this one, I'll know what to do with all of them. As good a place as any to begin.
If I have the time, I may look. Could be intriguing.
I've been racking my brains long enough. I hope you'll have better luck than I have. Do come and find me if you stumble on something
Lumos.
illuminating that solves the mystery.
That spot must be a clue. I should look around in case it's nearby.
Köszönöm.
This looks like the location from the painting. What could be so Let's get you back to your frame, little moth.
I wonder what animal I'd be.
Ha! I knew there was a connection. I should tell Lenora that I solved the puzzle of that empty frame.
Oh, ez a zene, ez nagyon jó.
Lenora, I solved the mystery of that painting.
You did? How?
Elmondjuk, vagy nem mondjuk el? Nem mondjuk el.
I'm afraid I can't tell you, Lenora.
Surely you jest.
You should have worked it out on your own.
You have nerve. Especially since I'm the one who told you about it in the first place. Imagine solving a riddle that I mentioned and then not telling me the answer. Practically competing with Imelda to see who's a more infuriating know-it-all.
Jó. Választjuk ki a főküldetést.
Lumos. Revelio.
I can't imagine receiving a howl.
Okay.
I almost bought an owl in Diagon Alley. Went with a cat instead. Odd-coloured eye, and it quite appealed to me.
It's been ages since I've sent an owl.
Jó, biztos még kapunk erre valami utasítást, de merre fel kell menni? Erre? Thieves! Akkor mondani, Hogwarts.
Daisy has a brand new game. Just beware the open flame.
Revelio.
Nagyon jó.
If someone gets struck by a cursed broom, we do hope it's you. Awful when they ask you a question. Faces. I'll just lie.
Nagyon vagány, hogy milyen részletesít minden basszus. Kicsit
Lumos. Revelio.
dementorszerű. Ott egy lát. Nem szabad megláss? Cuki.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
Te beszélsz, basszus.
Is that all you've got?
Levioso!
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces in your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Az első éves tananyag. Akkor tanulták meg. És nem is a sötét varázslatok kivédése órán.
Levioso!
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with a basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember,
Levioso!
Well done. Well done. Very good, but the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
This should be easy.
Protego.
Stupid. Lucky.
Nothing lucky about it. Levioso!
This can't be your first duel.
Let's just say
All my students with this event. I do enjoy a lively duel. Try to anticipate your opponent's next move.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Slytherin.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right. That's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
I'd hate to face Professor Hecat in a duel.
Protego! Lumos.
Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly.
You drilled Sebastian. He's strong competition. Well done.
Huh. Always thought Levioso was for first years. Not anymore.
Jó. Hát megtanulták már első év.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? Felt more like I was dueling an expert. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck, or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance, if you're interested. Till next time.
If you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around.
Revelio.
Hol a láda? Itt mutat valami láda. Nem, előbb tanuljuk meg a másik spell. Egy gyűjthető dolog elég. Elég érdekes szobor.
How many times must I tell you? We are a Chudley Cannons family. We do not support Puddlemere United. If I find one more of their mementos on your wall, you'll be on the first train home to take it down.
Quidditch fanatikus szülők.
Revelio.
Na, ezt meg nem tudom mondani, hogy vajon milyen csont lesz.
What are you up to now?
I cannot do this for all eternity. It was an accident. What do you want? If I could have...
Professor Ronan tends to go on a bit. We sometimes have to remind him to finish the lesson.
Revelio.
Some of us don't necessarily want him to get back to the lesson.
Most inspiring. While I remember...
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? Hmm? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Jó fejezet a meg.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me. I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off? Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment. Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will. But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you. The trick is to pull the sphere as far as possible, but not a bit more, or it'll fall, yes? Now, I could keep talking about theory all day, but practice is the best professor. Show us how it's done. Accio. That's it! Not to worry.
Okay.
Excellent. Good. Happens to the best of us.
Meg kéne nyomjam még egyszer, vagy?
Splendid!
Aha. Jó. Most már értem.
Very good! Points to Slytherin. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Let us see this.
Okay.
Phew. Not exactly your typical lesson, is it? Not that I mind.
Nah. Még kellett.
That's it!
Watch this. There we go. You are not making this easy for me, are you? Here we go.
Jó.
That is how it's done.
Tulajdonképpen bármennyi pontot érek el, én győztem. Ugye?
I know everyone is watching, but try not to be nervous. You are doing quite well.
Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Be sharp. Phew. Do not think I will start going easy on you now.
Accio.
Jó, na, akkor.
Don't lose your composure.
Elfelejtettem. Megnyomni még egyszer.
Watch this.
Accio.
Excellent control there.
Here we go! That is how it's done.
Oké. Nem kell kilöknem az elég.
Accio.
Well done.
Very good, both of you. Well done. Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Good game back there. I must admit, I think I underestimated you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
Thank you, but I've been holding my own.
I appreciate your confidence. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Ez érdekes.
Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts?
Wagadu School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
Is Wagadu a castle, like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Wagadu uses one.
Spells cast without a wand must be less powerful than those cast with a wand.
No, not at all. Wizarding magic cast without a wand is just as powerful. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. Ah, I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course, you can use Accio on humans.
A word, if you would.
So inclined.
Well, you'd be using it on clothing, to be precise, Sebastian. You know it won't work on humans.
Hát... Ez érdekes, mert Trevort, Neville-nek a macskáját az indítóval a könyvek felül többször is megkeresték, úgyhogy működik élőlényeken. Nem tudom, miért mondják azt, hogy csak ruhán.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? You did well, managing to best as gifted a student as Miss Onai.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor. though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Professor Ronan reminds me of my grandfather. Loads of wisdom, but a bit mad.
Igen, kicsit hülye a tanárból.
Revelio.
És kicsit bolondos, de nagyon okos.
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't you?
Hello, you wanted to speak to me?
Samantha Dale. I've been eager to meet you. You're the student everyone's been whispering about. Hope your first day's going well. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
Thank you, but it really wasn't all that challenging.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be a bit overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I find Professor Ronan's lessons a bit more challenging than you do.
Neked mi point?
Where were you? In the Goblin Rebellion of 1752.
And by the end of it, the Minister for Magic was Albert Lewis.
I won't say my goodbyes. I shall cheer for the boy who says you're telling lies.
I'm not telling lies, please. It was Albert Lewis.
Fight, fight! It's a bold attack! Was the Minister a boot or the Minister a flack?
Stop it, Peeves. You'll get us in trouble.
In trouble you will be, but you can't give Peeves a smack. She says it's a boot, and he says it's a flack.
Peeves, enough. You'll get us all detention. And you're both wrong anyway. It was Hephaestus Gore.
It wasn't boot and it wasn't flack, but you're all in trouble with Professor Black.
Do you find it hard to get the right consistency in a confusing concoction?
Még egy
I can
macska.
never get mine to thicken. I suppose I'd be curious about a beautification potion.
Ez milyen macska? Ha?
Not for me, Moonlight. For a friend of mine.
Revelio.
Ott bent van. Az is az irodában. Jó. Menjünk el párbajőzni. Szóval vannak a titkos folyósok.
Lumos.
Mintha láttam volna.
gone on to run the ministry. But I'm not sure I want to do that.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide.
Nem itt volt?
142 staircases, and this is where they put me.
Ezt mi mondta?
Oh, my exams. Not a one of them deserves more than a tea.
A T az ott ról. De nem tudom ki mondja ezt. Valamelyik lépcső. Vagy kép.
Not sure he's in at the present moment, the headmaster. Would be sure to tell him how very much you despise him.
Revelio.
Awful when they ask you a question, though, isn't it? Grubby little faces. I'll just die.
Azt írja, hogy vízkötő, legalábbis ha jól értem. De én itt nem látok vízkötőt. Ezekre? Egyikre? Ő az. Vagy ő.
Fills our stone hearts with joy to be in the presence of such arrogance.
Jó, de azt a boilerkét azt nem találom. Se azt a kárpitot. Pedig valahol láttam tuti. Mindegy, majd megtaláljuk.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Revelio.
Ezeknek semmi hasznuk, de élvezem őket.
Revelio.
Forda.
Whee! Oh, not again! Here I've come from the toilet bowl where she said I could swim, did you praxia mole? As long as for only 1 time per week, I can plunge the boy's lavatory, not for the meek. Please, Peeves, you'll make me late. He tried to stop me, did rancorous carp, sought to trap me, confine me inside of a jar. But he failed, as did his containment charms, so I took my revenge to wreak havoc and harm. It was granted my privileges be handsome indeed, or I'd fire up the cannon, and so she agreed. To draw up a contract with her, not with him, that if I behaved, I'd have 1 weekly swim! Whee! I'll get you for this.
Revelio.
What a lovely treat to have you walk by. Be sure to pass by at least once a year. Twice, if you can.
Revelio. Accio. Levioso.
Szerintem ez ki fog nyitni valamit.
Revelio.
Vagány.
Glad you could make it. Lucan's just over there.
Revelio.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
Levioso. Revelio.
Okay.
Can I help you?
Sebastian told me to see you about a club.
If Sebastian vouches for you, that's all I need to know. I coordinate duels for crossed wands. A dueling club of sorts. It's invitation only, so you must have really impressed Sebastian.
I seem to have a knack for dueling.
Then you've come to the right place.
How does cross wands work exactly?
You show up, I match you with other duelists, and whoever is still standing in the end wins. It's our way of determining the school's greatest duelist once and for all. And to liven things up, the winner is awarded a prize. Interested?
Of course. Dueling's an entertaining pastime.
I agree. Besides, in crossed ones, you could duel with a partner if you like. Your first time I'll pair you with Sebastian. Next time, you'll need to bring a partner along, or duel alone. So, care to step into the ring?
Get me in the ring.
Spectacular! Let the fireworks begin!
We'll make you regret signing up.
Potato! Stupid Ringo!
I'm the one!
That's all you've got? Levioso!
You're better than that!
Accio!
Come on. Perhaps one day I'll sign up for a round.
Nice work. Sebastian wasn't wrong about you. There's strong competition ahead, but keep this up and you could be the next school champion.
Brilliant. Count me in.
I shall. Now, it takes time to organise these duels, but check with me later. I may have something lined up for you. Again, congratulations on your first crossed wands victory. Well fought. Hope to see you back here again.
Jó, nem rossz, nem rossz. Nézzük, milyen küldetés. Igen. Ez a hang, ez nem tudom, szerintem nem folyt hangzik macska hangos, hogy valaki elnyálotta magát a dev-teamből. Tehát valami szörnyű.
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan. Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit before you arrived. I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Nothing more, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
Can you tell me more about the potions shop, Professor?
J. Pippin's Potions stocks a wide array of potions ingredients, although they rarely sell recipes. Professor Sharp asked that they have a couple of particular recipes on hand for you.
I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor. What is it?
A spellcraft is a recipe of sorts used when conjuring objects. I shall explain more about them when you begin working with transfiguration magic.
There's an Ollivander's in Hogsmeade.
There is. Most people are familiar with the shop in Diagon Alley. We're fortunate to have someone like him nearby. Mr. Ollivander is a genuine craftsman and highly skilled wand maker. I would trust no one else to pair me with a wand.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or Natsai Onai. I've noticed you spending time with them.
I'd like to go with Sebastian.
Glad to hear it. Mr. Sallow is a capable young wizard, and he knows the area. He'll keep you well clear of any of Victor Rookwood's undesirables en route.
Rookwood?
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of sorts, Theophilus Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
Hát igen, a bajsört megkóstoltam én is.
Revelio.
De azt hiszem, most tartok egy fél órás, egy órás szintet. Utána még egy kicsit talán játszom, ha bár holnap dolgom van reggel. Mert nem vacsoráztam még. Úgyhogy megyünk a teremből, elmentjük, ha el lehet. De azt írta, hogy magától is ment. Szép. Jó. Köszönöm annak az egy nézőnek, aki velem tartott, és ha megnézik többen is a videót, hát remélem, hogy tetszett neki, még neked is tetszett. Ha nem lennél itt, mikor folytatom, akkor jó éjszakát, találkozunk a következő részben.